Good morning and welcome to Queenie Quilt Studio for day 12. It is Friday, March 5th, 2021, and it is day 12 of 100 Days of Sewing. So this morning we are going to cut out our Star Baby quilt. So I'm going to show you how to prepare your papers and how to prepare your fabrics. We'll actually sew it Sunday, yeah, because Saturday I'm teaching, and so I have a little bit of a different video getting ready for you for that. So I'm going to talk about Star Baby just for a minute. So Star Baby is a simple 8 section quilt, right? So it's 8, just like this one behind me. So the one behind me is called Goodnight Star. It has the exact same components as Star Baby. It just is in a different layout. So it has 8 of these diamonds. So 6 of them are here and the other one is over here, right? And this is 1/4 of the quilt. So if you were to open this up, it's huge, it's giant, it's basically queen size. But I'm just showing you this piece so you can see them. So when we talk about diamonds, right? We talk about them in a bunch of different ways. So we talk about them in a scrappy layout, which is what this one is, right? Because I only have 1 strip of each fabric. So what would be in the traditional Lone Star world of rounds where all of this second one would match aren't available in a scrappy world because I need 1 full strip for each section. Right? For each of these diamonds, I need 1 full strip. So in this case, I used a jelly roll, so I didn't have the ability to make that work. You're just kind of stuck with what you can get to. But it's your quilt. So if you want it to be less scrappy, that's fine. You're just going to set out your segments so that they're less scrappy. So instead of 1 strip for each one of these, you might have, well, these 2 diamonds would be of the same type of strip, same exact fabric. And that will make this a round. And if you did this, so if you used 3 strips, you would end up with this being a round. So those are things to keep in mind as we make these decisions about what we're going to do. I'm going to help you, show you how to prep the papers and how to prep the fabrics, but I'm going to turn you around so you're actually looking at my cutting space rather than looking at me. So I'll be right back with the flipped around camera and I'll see you then. Okay, so we're back and I have my papers that I took out of my package yesterday and I'm gonna have a look at them. So I have 2 sheets of this NP 742. So NP 742 is the reference number, so if you need more papers, that's how you get them. And then we have a TP 554, which the TP stands for templates. So these are template papers, so we're not going to sew on them. So for right now, I'm just going to fold it up and set it aside. We are going to sew on these. Now, I could take the time and lay these out so they're exactly perfect and quickly cut them out just once. But with there only being 2 papers, it's just as easy and just as fast to just separate them and cut them out one at a time because they're very simple shapes. Are just going to take me a second. So I'm going to cut them out about 1/8 of an inch outside of the outside line on these. Okay, so I'm just going to give them a quick whack. Separate them. And then again. Just quick and simple, nothing fancy. Okay, so then you have a look at them, and these are both SS1s, so I'm going to put them in one pile together. This next row of them, they're both SS2s. So I'm going to put those in one pile together. last one are SS3s. And again, I'm going to put those in one pile together. Now, I am going to clean up these edges. I don't want a ton of extra fabric, or sorry, extra paper hanging out, because it will trick your eye when it comes to actually sewing. So I have 2 SS3s here. Now, I know that my other paper is identical to this paper, so I know I'm going to end up with 4 SS1s, 4 SS2s, and 4 SS3s. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. And then I'm going to come back and work on that TP paper. Now I've cut up all of my SS papers. And now I am going to cut up my TP papers. Now, in this case, I'm going to have a look at this paper. And I've already had a look at my pattern. And I know from looking at my pattern that these templates here are not part of the diamonds themselves. They are part of the border templates or the background templates. So at this point, I'm not too fussed about them. The one I need is this one right here for the strip piecing. So I'm going to get it free. Now, I don't need to be super picky about how I cut it out. I can just rough cut it out here. And then what I do at this point, because I know I don't need these right now, and when I do cut these, I need them to be cut out exactly on the line and exactly perfect. I'm going to hold off and cut them when I need them. So I'm just going to fold these right back up. And put them right back in my plastic. I'm going to go ahead and get this paper finished. Now, I don't need to get super perfect. I'm just going to get them ready. All right? So then I'm going to throw all this in the trash, all the cutout paper in the trash, and move on to getting my fabrics ready. So, fabrics for this quilt. This quilt uses 9 strips. We talked about that a little bit earlier, that each of these diamonds requires 1 strip of fabric. So that means this one has 9 diamonds when I'm done. So I need 9 strips of fabric. So it's really about designing it the way you want it. I am doing this for a little girl, but they don't want pink. So how I sort of do it is I get the fabrics I think I want together. I fold them. These are just kind of folded in half and half and half and in half again. So I don't know, they're probably these are 2.5 inches by probably 4.5 inches. And I'm just kind of looking to lay something out that I think I like. So I'm going to do the center, and then I want to go to kind of a pinky, it's really a purple. It kind of has a pinky tinge to it. Then I'm going to go to a more lavender. So I do want to make sure there's, and what you're really looking for is there enough contrast, right? Is there enough contrast for what I think I'm going to do? And these actually go like this eventually. So and I'm just kind of trying to get myself a general idea of what I want this to look like. And as soon as I'm happy with that idea, then I'll go ahead and get to cutting it out. So in this case, I've decided that this is my center. This is my first round. This is my second round, which is the one that has the most fabrics in it, or most pieces in it. And then this is my 4th round. And this is my point at the top. So if I look at that from my original, sorry for the noise there, against my original, I'm doing, this is upside down basically. So this would go like this. Oops. So this purple where this black is, these are the grays near the top. This is the one wrapper that goes all the way around. These are the lightest one right outside this darkest one, which I'm going back to that same fabric. Now, you don't have to go back and forth. You don't have to do anything. It's your quilt. In this one, she did very scrappy. So if you actually were to get up close to this quilt, these are all different. These are 2 different grays. These are 3 different kind of icy turquoises. These are 2 different creams, and this black and that black are different. You can totally do that. That's what I did in the one behind me in my Goodnight Star. But in this one, I want to do something a little more organized. You can also make really fancy shapes doing these 3 in dark and the rest of them in light. I'll show you some more of that in the upcoming weeks, but right now, this is what I've decided for this quilt. So, knowing what I've decided, I'm going to set them aside and get ready to cut them out. So, I'm going to line them up so that everything is just in one layer, and I'm going to number them appropriately. So when I look at my papers, so these are your papers, there's some things you're going to notice. So first of all, your foundation sheet is numbered. So they're SS1, SS2, or SS3. And then when you look on them this way, this tells you what fabric to use. And the first thing that you're going to notice is that the way that your fabrics are numbered is a little bit weird. So they are numbered not the way we assume, right? Most of us assume we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Or we're going to go 1, 2, 3. But that's not really how it works. So this SS1, which will become this row here, it will become the bottom of this diamond. It will be this row here. It's 1, 4, and 7. So fabrics 1, 2, 3 are here. 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9. So it's 1, 4, 7 for this strip. So I just need to line that up so I know what I'm doing. So in this case, this is 1, this is 4, and this is 7, because that's how that diamond works, right? And then this next row, SS2, which is right here, right? So while the paper looks identical, the fabric numbers are different. This one is 2, 5, and 8. So 2, 5, and 8, which in my case is this light pink, this lavender, and this turquoise, right? So I'm going to number these. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take this and a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut a little piece off, and I'm going to glue it actually on here so I know which fabric I'm going to place in that location. That will ensure that I get the right fabric every time, and I don't have to worry about getting this stacked, jumbled up, mixed up, messed up, whatever. This is especially important when you're doing a larger quilt, and you don't want to have to mess around with it. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to turn you guys off for just a minute and take care of that, and I'll come back and you'll see that they're all marked. I'll see you in just a few.